homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, it's that time of year. It's time to start getting our gardens ready. Now, here I am in the hill garden. Every year, about this time, it's March the 11th. This is zone 6, okay, here in central Kentucky. Every year about this time, I like to plow. Now, the truth is that I like to plow in March, and I plant my cole crops, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and kohlrabi. When I plant kohlrabi, I don't always plant it. I like to plant those out in the garden. I usually start them in the basement. This year I haven't had a chance to do that. Everything's just been so busy. I'll probably get my broccoli and cauliflower from the Mennonites this year. Hopefully my greenhouse I'll get done, but I can't do the greenhouse and let the other stuff go. I have to do it all at once, so that makes the greenhouse go painstakingly slow. So it's really aggravating me, but I've got so many other things to do here. It's spring. So, but before I can, the very first thing I do is I put the bush hog on and I mow everything down. Now, I know the ground is too wet to plow, but it's going to snow tonight. It's a fairly pretty day. Today it's 40 degrees, I think. I don't know. Right now, it's supposed to get up to 60 today. So I've got to get this all mowed, and what that does is it chops up all of this material, and then it'll snow on it, and it'll start the decay process. Then I'll turn around and it will dry out next week. It's supposed to be pretty from Monday through Friday. So by about Thursday, this ground, since it's been mowed, will be ready to plow. And I'll be able to plow that first plowing, and then as close as I can get to April the 1st. It might be the week before April the 1st, or it might be the week after April the 1st. I'll plow again and put in my broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. But that stuff can't wait. So what I've got to do first, though, I've got these tomato cages in here, and they have to go or else they'll get wound up in the bush hog. But these are the only ones. There's only a few in this hill garden, so it won't take long to get them. There's two. I'll just leave the rebar stake right on it. They're always wound up in the weeds. Get these two. Now, let's pull that all the way out. I'll pile these all right up on the forks of the tractor, and then I'll take them and put them out of the way somewhere ready for the season. Okay, I went and dumped them up by the flat garden. The thing about those are, those rebar stakes that you use, if you use rebar like me, I set those just in the grass beside the flat garden. Now the flat garden's got about 80 more cages that I need to get there. And then the kitchen garden's got like 18 cages that I need to get out of it. So of all the cages, I've got somewhere around 110 or something like that. But anyway, those cages, I set them beside the flat garden in the grass. Now, a little clue, when you set those cages down, if the rebar stake is still attached to the cage, it's okay, you can leave it attached. If the rebar stake is no longer attached to the cage, lean the rebar on top of the cages. The reason being is, as it sits there, and it's going to sit for about a month, because it'll be about a month before I plow the flat garden. So they'll sit there about a month to 2 months waiting to go on a tomato or a pepper or whatever I decide I need to cage. It'll sit there, and those rebar stakes will be down in the grass and you can't find them. Next thing you know, you've got one in your bush hog. So you don't want that. So take those rebar stakes, any of them that are loose, and lean them up on top of those tomato. Lay the tomato cages down. I lay them out flat on the ground, and then I just lean the rebar over top of them. That way, I can always find the rebar, and I'm not leaving any down in the grass. So now I've got that done. It's time to mow this all down, and what it'll do is my bush hog will tear this stuff up, and it will make it like mulch. And it'll be on the ground, and then the snow will come, and the snow will provide some water, and it will begin to rot up here on the floor, on the ground. Then, after it's rotted for a week, I'll come and plow it all right into the ground, and it adds organic matter back into your soil. I don't like to burn off my garden. Some of the old timers always burned their garden off, but they didn't have a tractor. Okay, the old timers that did that didn't have a tractor. Now, burning off your garden does kill a lot of weed seeds. I admit that freely. But I double and triple plow before I plant. And what that does is it allows some weeds to come up, and then I plow them in. And then some more weeds will come up, and I plow them in. And then finally, some more weeds will come up, and I plow them in. And after that, there aren't a whole lot of weeds. It sure cuts down on the weed load. Some people say it ruins the tilth of your soil. You have to look at my harvest and tell me if that's the truth. So, I've got some things this year. See where I missed. I didn't get to garden last year because I was sick. So, the garden has got really weedy. Well, you know, I mowed down some of the weeds last year, but I really didn't do much in the garden. So this year I've got to manage to figure that all out and get it all back in line. But today I'm going to go ahead and bush hog this, and you can come along. Okay, I got it all bush hogged down, tore up. So now that can lay and rot. Now, there'll be people that say, well, you didn't have to do that. You've got a tiller on the back of your tractor. You could have let that tiller tear that stuff up. Well, absolutely, I could have let the tiller tear that stuff up. That would have been the easy way to go. But the truth is, that is not decomposing till your plants are already in the ground. I would rather have it partially decomposed by the time the plants hit the dirt. That way they can use the nutrients out of them, and even the weeds provide some nutrients back into the soil. So that's what I'm doing. That's pretty well taken up my morning, so now I'll have 3 or 4 hours to work on the greenhouse again. That's the way it is. I get to work on it in spits and spurts, and that's the way this stuff works. I can imagine Al and Gina over there at Alumna Acres. I love watching their channel, and I'm so happy that they've got them a 500-acre piece of ground that they're trying to start a ranch on. They'll call it a homestead, but 500 acres is more than a homestead. That's a ranch. So if you get a chance, go over there and check their channel out. I really like it. Anyway, I went over and looked at gas. And gas is very expensive right now for the tractor. I think it was $5.19 a gallon when I went by the place. I haven't bought any gas yet because I don't have to yet. But I want to say about when it comes to gas, the media would have you think that that's the worst thing that ever happened. Don't sweat the small stuff. And everything is small stuff. Yes, the price of gas is going to affect poor people hard. Yes, it is. But in the grand scheme of things, us on our homesteads are doing pretty good, even if it is hard. We know what hard is. So don't sweat the small stuff, and everything is small stuff. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. And now, with that being said, it's time for me to get out of this sun and go work on a greenhouse.